better chances. This game has all the ingredients of a classic Premier League clash. Will Manchester United's quality shine through and secure them a vital 3 points in their top 4 race? Or can Everton, roared on by a passionate Goodison Park, pull off a massive result to ease their relegation fears? It's a tough one to call. Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Who do you think will come out on top? Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this preview, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Hello football fans and welcome back to the channel. Get ready for a Premier League showdown as Chelsea hosts Burnley at Stamford Bridge. This is a classic David versus Goliath matchup, and we're here to break it all down for you in this detailed preview. Let's start with the home side, Chelsea. Under Mauricio Pochettino, the Blues have been a real mixed bag this season. We've seen flashes of brilliance, like their thrilling draw against Manchester City, and some dominant wins, but they've also suffered from frustrating inconsistency. Injuries have played a major part, with key players like Christopher Nkunku and Reece James spending significant time on the sidelines. However, the international break might have come at a good time for them to regroup. The player to watch is undoubtedly Cole Palmer. He's been the shining star in a turbulent season, pulling the strings in midfield, scoring crucial goals, and showing maturity beyond his years. His creativity will be absolutely vital if Chelsea wants to break through the Spurs' defense. We also need to keep an eye on Nicholas Jackson. He's had his ups and downs in front of goal, but his referee is undeniable, and his music is real problems for Burnley's backline. Defensively, Chelsea will need to be sharp. They've been prone to lapses in concentration, and any mistake could be punished. Now, let's shift our focus to the visitors, Burnley. It's been a tough return to the Premier League for Vincent Kompany's side. They dominated the championship last season with a beautiful, possession-based style of football, but they found it much harder to implement than against top-flight opposition. They are deep in a relegation battle, and every single point is precious from here on out. Despite their struggles, Burnley finally secured a much-needed win against Brentford just before the break, which will have been a massive morale booster. That victory could be the spark they need to ignite a late-season survival bid. The key man for the Clarets is likely to be Sander Berge in midfield. His physical presence and ability to drive forward with the ball will be crucial in disrupting Chelsea as rhythm. Up front, they'll be looking to someone like David Datro Fofana, who is interestingly on loan from Chelsea and will have a massive point to prove against his parent club. His energy and finishing could be their best route to a goal. Kompany's philosophy is brave, and he'll likely encourage his team to play out from the back, which is a high-risk, high-reward strategy against a team like Chelsea that loves to press high up the pitch. So how will this game play out tactically? I'd expect Chelsea to dominate possession. The Lions try to use their technical superiority in midfield with players like Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo to control the tempo. Look for them to try and get their wingers, perhaps Raheem Sterling or Mikhailo Mudryk, in one-on-one situations against Burnley's fullbacks. Pochettino's game plan will be to press Burnley relentlessly, force turnovers in dangerous areas, and capitalize quickly. For Burnley, the game plan will be all about defensive organization and discipline. They'll likely sit in a compact, low block, absorb pressure, and look to frustrate Chelsea. They need to stay focused with a full-length mix and limit the space for Cole Palmer to operate in. Their best chances will come from set pieces or quick counterattacks, using the pace of their forwards to get in behind Chelsea's high defensive line. It's a classic clash of styles. Chelsea's proactive, high-pressing approach versus Burnley's reactive, defensive resilience. My prediction, while Burnley will fight tooth and nail for survival, the quality gap might just be too big. Playing at Stamford Bridge gives Chelsea a significant advantage. If their key attackers are clinical and they avoid any silly defensive errors, they should have enough to secure the 3 points. I'm going for a 2-0 Chelsea win, but you can never write off a team fighting for their premier league lives. Burnley will make it difficult, and if Chelsea are complacent, upset could be on the cards. What do you guys think? Will Chelsea cruise to a comfortable victory, or can Burnley pull off a massive shock? Let me know your predictions in the comments below. It's going to be a fascinating watch. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Premier League previews and analysis. I'll see you in the next one.
Before we dive into today's preview, kindly hit that like and subscribe button. Your support helps us bring you more top-tier football content, and we truly appreciate every single one of you. Now, let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, football fans. Today, we gearing up for a classic Premier League clash as Wanderers host Arsenal at the Liga Stadium on February 18th. 2026, this fixture is a tale of two teams at opposite ends of the table. Arsenal, sitting at the top, are chasing the title with relentless ambition. Meanwhile, Wolves find themselves in a desperate battle for survival at the bottom of the league. On paper, it looks like a David versus Goliath story. But in the Premier League, anything can happen. Let's first rewind the clock and look at the history between these two storied clubs. Arsenal, founded in 1886 as Dial Square, have a trophy cabinet bursting at the seams. 13 league titles, a record 14 FA Cups, and of course, the unforgettable invincible season of 2003 to 2004. They are a pillar of English football, known for their slick, attacking style. Their journey from Woolwich in South London to Highbury, and now the Emirates, is a testament to their enduring legacy. Then we have Wolverhampton Wanderers, or Wolves, one of the founding members of the Football League in 1888. Their golden era came in the 1950s under the legendary manager Stan Coulis, where they won the league title 3 times and were hailed as one of the greatest club sides in the world. The floodlit friendlies at Molineux against top European teams like Hanvit and Spartak Moscow were pivotal in the creation of the European Cup, which later became the Champions League. Though they've had their ups and downs, their history is rich and their spirit is unbreakable. While not a traditional heated derby, the rivalry between Arsenal and Wolves has intensified in the Premier League era. It's often a clash of styles. Arsenal's possession-based football against Wolves' resilient counter-attack. Set up. The recent head-to-head record, however, tells a very one-sided story. Arsenal have dominated this fixture lately, winning the last 7 encounters against Wolves. This psychological edge could play a massive part in the upcoming game. Now, let's talk about current form. Arsenal are flying high. Under Mikel Arteta, they've been a machine this season, displaying a perfect blend of youthful energy and experienced leadership. They've won their last 5 league games, scoring an impressive 15 goals and conceding only 3. Their confidence is sky high, and every player seems to be at the top of their game. They look like genuine title contenders, showing both the style and the substance required to go all the way for Wolves. It's a completely different picture. The struggle is real. They have unwon a league game in their last 8 matches, and are finding it incredibly difficult to score goals, which has been their main problem all season. The pressure is mounting at Molineux, and the fans are desperate for a spark, a moment of magic to turn their fortunes around. A game against the league leaders is a monumental challenge, but it could also be the perfect opportunity to make a statement and galvanize the team for the relegation fight ahead. Let's move on to the key players who can decide this match. For Arsenal, all eyes are on their captain, Martin Dent. The Norwegian maestro has been pulling the strings in midfield, creating chances at will and chipping in with crucial goals. His vision and technical ability are second to none. Alongside him, Bukayo Saka continues to terrorize defenses from the wing, while the defensive from William Saliba provides the stability at the back that allows the attackers to flourish. For Wolves, their hopes will likely rest on the shoulders of their star forward. But his energy, dribbling, and ability to create something out of nothing will be vital if Wolves are to breach the stern Arsenal defense. In midfield, Joe Gomez will be tasked with the tough job of breaking up Arsenal's rhythm and protecting his back. His tenacity and work rate in the engine room will be absolutely crucial for the home side. Of course, injuries could play a significant role. Arsenal are currently sweating on the fitness of Gabriel Jesus, who is recovering from a minor hamstring issue. His absence will be a blow, but they have proven they have depth in attack. Thomas Partey also remains endowed in midfield, and his commanding presence would be sorely missed. On the Wolves side, they are dealing with a longer injury list. Key winger Pedro Neto is out for the foreseeable future. The long-term injury and his creative spark is a huge loss. Defender Craig Dawson is also sidelined, which weakens their defensive core. These absences will force the Wolves manager to reshuffle his pack and could leave them vulnerable. So, what can we expect on February 18th? Arsenal will likely dominate possession from the start, probing and looking for openings with their patient, intricate passing. They will try to pin Wolves back and use the width provided by their wingers to stretch the play. Wolves, on the other hand, will need to be incredibly organized and disciplined defensively. They'll likely sit deep, absorb the pressure, and look to hit Arsenal on the counter-attack, using the pace of their forwards to exploit any space left behind. Set pieces could also be a key opportunity for Wolves to cause problems. Molineux, under the lights. It can be an intimidating place for any visiting team. The home crowd will be loud, trying to be the 12th man and inspire their team to an unlikely victory. If Wolves can keep it tight for the first hour and frustrate Arsenal, they might just grow into the game and snatch something. However, the sheer quality and relentless form of this Arsenal side make them the overwhelming favorites. They have too much firepower enough, playing with a champion's mentality. My prediction, I see Arsenal's class shining through. Wolves will put up a great fight, but the Gunners' attack will eventually break them down. I'm going for a 3-0 victory for Arsenal, cementing their place at the top of the table.
My prediction is no color.
Into trouble. What do you think? Can Wolves pull off a massive upset? Or will Arsenal continue their march towards the title? Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this preview, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more Premier League content every week. We'll see you in the next one. Before we dive into today's match, hit that like and subscribe button. West Ham United and Manchester United face off on Tuesday, February 10th, 2026 at the London Stadium. Manchester United enters the match in strong form under interim manager Michael Carrick, seeking Premier League victory. West Ham, currently fighting for survival in 18th place, has also shown signs of improvement. With 3 wins in their last 4, West Ham has held the upper hand in recent league encounters, remaining
No bar ko se ni wan mo ko ye game magi pongi role ko ko na to ki pong magi do ni ko magi tu ko ko na no ga
Manchester United has been in elite form.
Keep on not here ko me no do go gi da ka mo gi kuma ne CS:GO so mo gi cha
Scoring 3 goals in their last 5 meetings.
ki go kona to ki pongi gol ki go kona to ki pongi gol magi do to ne ki gol ko ta on ga gol na ki ni gol
Back to the channel. breaking down a
Maybe
massive
what
fixture
upgrade.
on the Premier League calendar. West Ham United
Maybe
versus
what
Manchester
upgrade.
United. Live from the London Stadium.
Technique to reach out. Ineno koroma no.
This is always a spicy
Ineno koro ginene. Samuno kigoba second half. Emagigol golwa tundi jogo golwa kadi.
to be an absolute classic.
Alafu kichako timu ginene. Ujika mari mabiro pon koni. Tigo ni counter. Ngwete de.
Hammers have had a bit of an up and down season so far.
Kendo kimofanya MCS korengo.
Has been encouraging. They've picked up 10 points.
Ba unyo lono nyo house ana.
Games, including a massive win against their London rivals last weekend. Their home form at the London Stadium has been a fortress this season. They've only lost once there in the league. And the atmosphere the fans generate is genuinely one of the most intimidating in the country. The team seems to have found a rhythm, playing with a real sense of identity. They're defensively solid, well organized, and incredibly dangerous. The manager has instilled a work ethic that's second to none, and every player knows their role. Coming into this game, their confidence will be sky high, and they'll fancy their chances against anyone, especially on their own turf. The key for them has been consistency. Earlier in the season, they follow a great result with a disappointing loss. They seem to have ironed out those inconsistencies. They're a tough nut to crack, and United will have to be at their absolute best to
Edangwe.
break them down. Now, let's turn our attention to the visitors, Manchester United. What a roller coaster their season has been after a shaky start. They've been on an incredible, unbeaten run that propelled them right into the title conversation. However, the last month has seen a slight dip in form. They've drawn 2 of their last 4 games. Crucial points. The pressure is on. And every game feels like a their away form has been the myth of the mixed bag. They've secured some brilliant victories on the road, but have also been vulnerable. Conceding goals a little too easily for the manager's liking. This trip to the London Stadium is a massive test of their character and their title credentials. A win here would be a huge statement of
Hit that
intent,
like.
reaffirming
Subscribe.
their status as genuine
Subscribe.
contenders. A loss, however, could see them lose significant ground on their rivals. They have the quality, there's no doubt about that, but they need to rediscover that clinical edge and defensive solidity that served them so well during their winning streak. Squad depth is impressive, but finding the right balance and maintaining momentum is the challenge they face right now. Looking at the head-to-head record between these two clubs, it's been incredibly tight in recent years. In their last 5 Premier League meetings, Manchester United have the slight edge with 3 wins, while West Ham have won once, and there's been 1 draw. The reverse fixture at Old Trafford earlier this season was a dramatic 2-2-2 draw, a game that had everything. Controversy and
video IQ ni gona
it perfectly encapsulated the rivalry between these two sides.
inalo content
Two seasons ago, a hard-fought 1-2-0 victory that the Hammers still talk about. Historically, United have had the better of the exchanges, but in recent times, that's not really close to them. They're seeing themselves as the underdogs in this fixture. They believe they can compete with and beat the best teams in the league.
But imangela video hanga koma.
Against United,
Kadi timu nani. Mana demo.
it's always physical,
Right.
and often decided by a single moment or a costly mistake. Now, for the part you've all been waiting for.
Make it as many as possible.
Players for West Ham. His energy in the middle of the park, his ability to break up play, and his fantastic range of passing make him absolutely indispensable. He sets the tempo for the entire team, and if he has a good game, West Ham usually have a good game. Up front, their main striker is in scintillating form. He's already hit 15 goals this season, and his combination of pace, power, and clinical finishing makes him a nightmare for defenders. He will be the focal point of their attack, looking to running behind the United defense and test the goalkeeper at every opportunity. At the back, their captain and central defender is the Rock. His leadership, experience, and aerial dominance are crucial to their defensive structure. He'll be tasked with keeping United's forwards quiet, a job he's more than capable of doing. For Manchester United, their creative force in midfield is the man who makes them tick. His vision, his ability to unlock a defense with a single pass, and his goal-scoring threat from midfield are, when he's on so, United are a different beast altogether. They'll be looking to find pockets of space between West Ham's midfield and defense. On the wing, their young superstar continues to dazzle. His electrifying pace and dribbling skills can change a game in an instant. He'll be a constant threat down the flank, and West Ham's fullback will have a long and difficult evening trying to contain him. And of course, we have to talk about their veteran striker, even at this stage of his career. His movement in the box and his unerring eye for goal are as sharp as ever. He is a big game player, and United will be looking to him to provide that clinical touch in the final. His battle with West Ham central defenders will be a fascinating duel to watch throughout the match. So, how will the teams line up tactically? I expect West Ham to stick with their tried and tested 4-3-1 formation. They'll likely sit in a compact, low block, absorbing pressure and looking to United on the break. They are incredibly well-drilled in this system. The two holding midfielders will be crucial in shielding the back four and preventing United's playmakers from getting on the ball in dangerous areas. Their fullbacks will be disciplined, but they will also provide width in attack when the opportunity arises. The key to their strategy will be the speed of their transitions. The moment they win the ball back, they will look to get it forward to their pacey wingers and striker as quickly as possible. Set pieces will also be a huge weapon for them. They have some fantastic headers of the ball. And an excellent delivery from their set piece specialists. So United will have to be on their guard at every corner. Manchester United will have to counter with their preferred 4-3-3 formation. A system designed to dominate possession and control the game. They will try to keep West Ham back in their own half, moving the ball quickly and trying to create overloads in wide areas. The role of their single defensive midfielder will be vital. He will be responsible for protecting the back four from West Ham's counterattacks and for recycling possession. United has the more advanced central midfielders will be tasked with breaking the lines and creating chances for the front three. They'll need to be patient as breaking down this organized West Ham defense will not be. They might try to draw the West Ham defenders out of position, create space in behind. The individual brilliance of their attacking players could be the key to unlocking the door. Expect them to press high up the pitch when they lose possession, trying to win the ball back quickly and sustain pressure on the West Ham goal. Now for my pre-match commentary and prediction. This is an incredibly tough one to call. The London Stadium will be absolutely rocky, and West Ham are a formidable force at home. They have a clear game plan and players who are in top form. They will make life extremely difficult for Manchester United. They are physical, organized, and have the quality to hurt any team on the counter. If they score the first goal, it could be a very long night for the visitors. However, you can never write off Manchester United. They possess an incredible amount of individual talent. Players who can produce a moment of magic out of nowhere. If they can control the midfield and get their key creative players on the ball, they have the firepower to score goals against any defense. The first goal in this game is going to be they come back.
Send me a
And
200
waiting for
euro.
that moment. United have to be patient. Avoid getting frustrated. The game will likely open up in the second half as players start to tire and gaps begin to appear. I can see both teams scoring. It has all the ingredients of a classic Premier League clash. Two good teams, contrasting styles, and so much at stake. My final prediction. This is going to sound like I'm saying but I genuinely think this one is heading for a draw. I'm going for a 1-1 final score. I think West Ham's organization and motivation will be enough to nullify some of United's attacking threat. I also think United's quality will shine through at some point to get them a goal. It's going to be a fascinating watch, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds. But do you guys think? Let me know your predictions in the comments. Who are your key players? Which team do you think will come out on top? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this preview, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like, share, or subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss out post-match analysis. Until next time, take care. After a rocky period, Manchester United seems to be finding its feet again. And a lot of that is down to one man. Michael Pitt stepping in as caretaker manager brought a sense of calm and technical smarts to the team in his first few games. We saw a much more organized system. The win against Villarreal in the Champions League was fast and securing a hard-fought draw against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Shows real character. It looks like Carrick has steadied the ship, giving the players a clear game plan and a boost in confidence. What a start for the club legend! So, we covered the initial spark. But what really turned the tide for Manchester United? Let's not before the tactical genius of Michael Pitt. He didn't just steady the ship. He completely rearranged Carrick's first major change was reinforcing the midfield, shifting from a passive loose block to an aggressive, high-pressing system, and forced opponents into making mistakes in their own half. Creating turnovers that United could instantly capitalize on. He essentially gave the team a new identity, one built on proactive, front-foot football rather than reactive defending. This wasn't just about energy. It was about intelligent pressing triggers, with players knowing exactly when to close down and when to hold their shape. This newfound structure gave the creative players the freedom they desperately needed. And speaking of creative players, let's talk about the man who's been absolutely electric. Bruno at the heart of everything under Garrett's system. He's not just a primary playmaker anymore. He's the engine. The first line of the press. His work rate has been phenomenal, but it's his connection with Matheus Cunha that has truly set the league on fire. Cunha's arrival brought his clever movement off the ball and his ability to drop deep and link play have created so much space for Bruno to exploit. It's a classic partnership. One creates, the other exits, but now they're both doing a bit of everything, making them almost impossible to mark. Their interplay has been a joy to watch, full of one-twos, clever flicks, and a telepathic understanding of each other's runs. Now, let's look at the two games that announced United's return to the top table. The wins against Manchester City and Arsenal. Against City, the strategy was a master class in counter-attacking football. United absorbed pressure brilliantly, staying compact and organized, then exploded forward with breathtaking speed on the break. The key moment was that lightning fast transition in the 75th minute, starting with an offensive interception and ending with a critical finish. After just 3 passes, it was a perfect execution of Eric's game plan against Arsenal. He was a different story. United dominated possession and controlled the tempo. From the start, they pressed unpicked Arsenal back and used quick, incisive passing to break down their defense. The winning goal wasn't a hit, it was the result of sustained pressure and a brilliant piece of individual skill from who unlocked the packed defense with a moment of magic. These two victories showed United this new tactical flexibility. They can win by playing on the back foot or by taking the game to their opponents. It's this adaptability that makes them a genuine threat again. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth analysis. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Get ready for a colossal Premier League showdown as Manchester United welcome Tottenham Hotspur to the Theatre of Dreams. Old Trafford. This is more than just a game. It's a battle with massive implications for the top 4 race, managerial reputations, and bragging rights. We're going to break down everything you need to know ahead of this epic clash. So, grab your kids, settle in, and let's get straight into it. Let's start with the home side, Manchester United. What a turnaround we've seen under Michael Kemp. The club seems to have found a new lease on life. They're sitting comfortably in the top 4, and the confidence is visibly flowing back through the team. Their recent form has been impressive, stringing together some crucial wins that have solidified their position. It's not just about the results. It's the manner of the victories. There's a newfound resilience and tactical discipline that was perhaps missing earlier in the season. Eric's impact cannot be overstated. He simplified the approach, focusing on defensive solidity and quick transitions, which seems to suit this squad perfectly. Players who were struggling for form are now looking like world beaters again. Look at the midfield pivot. They're controlling games, breaking up play, and initiating attacks with precision. The defense, which was a major concern, now looks far more organized and less prone to individual errors. Up front, the attack is clicking. We're seeing intelligent movement, clinical finishing, and the real sense of purpose. Key players are stepping up to the plate. The forwards are finding the back of the net with regularity, and the creative midfielders behind them are pulling the strings, carving out chances, seemingly at will. The atmosphere at Old Trafford has been electric, and the fans are fully behind this resurgence. The team is playing with a swagger that suggests they believe they can beat anyone on their day. Heading into this massive fixture, it's self-belief to be their most potent weapon. Now, let's turn our attention to the visitors. Tottenham Hotspur. It's been a tale of two competitions for Spurs this season. In the Europa League, they've been absolutely flying, cruising through their group and looking like genuine contenders. However, their Premier League form has been a roller coaster of inconsistency. One week, they look capable of challenging the very best, and the next, they suffer a frustrating defeat that stalls their momentum. They find themselves lingering in mid-table, a position that simply reflects the talent within their squad. This inconsistency is the biggest puzzle for them to solve. The situation surrounding their manager, Thomas Frank, adds another layer of intrigue. He's a high-rated coach, known for his tactical innovation, but the pressure is mounting to translate their European success into domestic results. Questions are being asked about his team selections and his inability to find a consistent winning formula in the league. Is it the system? Is it the mentality? Whatever the reason, Spurs need to find answers and fast. Despite the team's struggles, their key players continue to show flashes of brilliance. Their star striker remains one of the most lethal finishers in world football, and on his day, it can single-handedly win a match. The wingers possess blistering pace and trickery, capable of preventing any fullback in the league. In midfield, they have players with division and passing range to unlock even the most stubborn defenses. The talent is undeniable. The challenge for Tottenham is harnessing that individual brilliance into a cohesive and effective team performance, especially in a weeks away game like this one. When we look at the head-to-head record, it makes for fascinating reading and adds a psychological edge to this contest. Tottenham are currently on an incredible 8-match unbeaten streak against Manchester United in all competitions. That's a statistic that will be ringing in the ears of both sets of players. For Spurs, it's a source of immense confidence. They have the formula to get a result against his opponent, whether at home or away. It proves they can nullify United's strength and exploit their weaknesses. For Manchester United, this record is a demon they desperately need to exercise. It's a mental hurdle they have to overcome. Can they finally break the curse in front of their home fans? This unbeaten run for Spurs includes a mix of hard-fought wins and memorable victories, which will give them a significant mental advantage walking out onto the Old Trafford pitch. They won't be intimidated by the venue or the occasion. This historical context turns a tactical battle into a psychological one, and it will be fascinating to see which side blinks first. So, how will this game play out tactically? Let's break down the potential strategies for Manchester United under Carrick. Expect them to continue with their disciplined 4-2-3-1 formation. The key will be controlling the midfield. Their two holding midfielders will be tasked with shielding the back four. And, crucially, stopping the supply line to Tottenham's main striker. United will look to press high when the opportunity arises, but will likely remain compact, inviting Spurs on before hitting them with devastating speed on the cap. Look for the wingers to stay wide, stretching the Spurs defense and creating space for the number 10 and striker to operate in. The fullbacks will also have a key role, providing overlapping runs to create overloads out wide. For Tottenham, Thomas Frank might opt for a more cautious approach away from home. A 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2 formation could be on the cards, offering defensive stability while still posing a threat on the break. The wingbacks will be absolutely crucial in this system. They'll need to be energetic, tracking back to defend against United's wingers, while also providing the width in attack. The key on-field battle will undoubtedly be in the middle of the park. Can Tottenham's midfield duo disrupt United's rhythm and prevent them from dominating possession? Another huge battle will be between Tottenham's central striker and United's. If he can isolate them one-on-one, he could cause serious problems. Spurs will likely look to play direct passes into their front man, bypassing the midfield battle and turning the United defense around. It's a classic clash of styles. United's controlled possession versus Tottenham's explosive counter-attacking potential. As you'd expect for a game of this magnitude, the pundits are divided. Many are backing Manchester United, citing their incredible home form and the momentum they've built under Michael. They see a team reborn, full of confidence and playing with a clear identity. The Old Trafford factor is huge, and they believe the home crowd will roar their team to a crucial victory. Finally ending that 8-game winless streak against Spurs. However, you can't write off Tottenham. Other experts are pointing to that incredible head-to-head record as a major psychological advantage. They argued that Spurs are United's bogey team and that Thomas Frank's side has the perfect style to frustrate and punish them. They believe the tight cagey affair. Spurs soaking up pressure and hitting United on the counter. The pre-match atmosphere is absolutely buzzing online. The fan bases are going back and forth. The tension is palpable. And everyone has a theory on how this massive game will unfold. It's exactly what the Premier League is all about. Drama, passion, and unpredictability. So there you have it. Our comprehensive preview of Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur. This is a match that has it all. A top four battle. A tactical chess match between two intriguing managers. And a significant psychological element with that head-to-head record. Will United's fantastic form continue? And will they finally break their duck against Spurs? Or will Tottenham's European confidence translate into a massive league result, proving they have the number of their old rivals? It's poised to be an absolute thriller at Old Trafford. Be sure to tune in for the match. You won't want to miss a second of the action. All the broadcast information will be on the screen now, so you can find out where to watch it in your region. What are your predictions for the game? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. Who do you think will be the match? Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our pre-match analysis and post-match review. We'll be back after the final whistle to break it all down. Until then, enjoy the game. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we're rediving deep into one of the most dramatic cup ties we may see in years. The EFL Cup semi-final. Second leg between Arsenal and Chelsea at the Emirates. The stakes couldn't have been higher. The first leg of the bridge ended in a tense 1-1 draw, leaving everything to play for. Chelsea carried the momentum from a solid run of form, while Arsenal, despite their strong league position, were dealt a massive blow. Bukayo Saka, their talisman, was ruled out with an ankle injury picked up in training. The big question on everyone's mind was, could the Gunners cope without their star boy? The atmosphere was electric. A proper London derby under the lights with a trip to Wembley on the line. As the whistle blew, the tactical battle began. Mikel Arteta, Saka opted for a slight variation. He brought in Leandro Trossard on the right, but instead of a direct replacement, instructed Ben White to push higher, almost acting as a supplementary winger. This was a clear attempt to maintain width and overload Chelsea's left wing. In midfield, Declan Rice, Santi, tasked with breaking up play, and shuffling the back, allowing Martin Odegaard the freedom to roll and create. Jesus was relentless. His constant movement designed to pull Chelsea centre-backs out of position on the other side. Mauricio Pochettino set Chelsea up in a compact 4-2-3-1. Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez were the double pivots. Their job to control the tempo and deny space. Raheem Sterling and Mikhailo Mudryk were deployed on the wings. Their pace, a constant threat on the count, waiting to exploit any space left behind. Arsenal's advancing. Nicholas Jackson led the line, acting as the focal point for their attacks. The early exchanges were cagey. Arsenal dominated possession, patiently probing, while Chelsea looked solid, organized, and dangerous on the break. The first half was a chess match. Arsenal, as expected, controlled the ball, circulating it from side to side, trying to find a chink in that blue armor. Without Saka's explosive dribbling, however, their attacks felt a bit predictable. Trossard is a clever player, but he doesn't offer that same direct threat. Most of Arsenal's came through Odegaard, who was trying to thread needles in a tightly packed final third. Around the 25-minute mark, he nearly succeeded, slipping a beautiful ball through to Jesus. Welcome everyone. massive Premier League clash on our hands as Manchester United prepared to host Fulham at the Theatre of Dreams. The stage is set for what promises to be an enthralling encounter this Saturday at 3 p.m. The wave of momentum looking to solidify their European aspirations, while Fulham are desperate to bounce back and prove they can mix it with the big boys even away from home. The atmosphere at Old Trafford is always electric, and with both teams having so much to play for, this is a fixture you simply can't miss. So, let's break it all down. Let's dive into the current form. And for Manchester United, things are finally looking up. After a turbulent first half of the season, they've really hit their stride. Currently enjoying an impressive, unbeaten run in the new year. Victory after victory has propelled them right back into the conversation for a top four finish. They sit sixth at the table. But the gap to the Champions League spots is closing fast. Their recent wins, especially the hard-fought victory at Luton Town, show a newfound resilience and a clinical edge that was missing before. The confidence is flowing through the squad, and they look like a team that believes they can beat anyone right now. On the other side of the pitch, we have Fulham. It's been a bit of a mixed bag for them lately. They sit comfortably in mid-table, clear of any relegation fee, which is a testament to the solid job Marco Silva has done. However, their form has been inconsistent. They can produce brilliant performances, like their recent win against Bournemouth. But then follow it up with a disappointing result, such as their loss to Aston Villa. Their away form, in particular, has been a concern. They haven't managed to replicate their Craven Cottage dominance on the road, which makes this trip to a roaring Old Trafford an especially daunting challenge. They need to find a way to be more solid and threatening away from home if they want to climb the table. Now, let's look at the history books. The head-to-head record between these two clubs tells a story of near total dominance for Manchester United. You have to go way back to find the last time they secured a victory at Old Trafford. In recent years, United have consistently had the upper hand, both at home and away. Earlier this season, it was a very tight affair at Craven Cottage. The late Fernandez strike snatch all 3 points for United. And this is where it gets really interesting for Manchester United. The injury list is a real concern. The center Rodriguez's absence is a huge blow to defense. And now, Luke Shaw has unfortunately joined him on the sidelines with a muscle injury. This forces Eric Ten Hag into yet another defensive reshuffle. Victor Lindell stepping for Shaw and left back. The good news is the attack is firing on all cylinders. The key player, without a doubt, is Rasmus. The striker is in sensational form, scoring in his last 6 Premier League games. He's brimming with confidence, and his partnership with the electrifying Alejandro Garnacho and the informed Marcus Rashford makes United-esque. Front three, one of the most dangerous in the league right now. Forward, Fulham. The biggest talking point is the absence of their midfield engine. Palina, who will miss this game due to suspension after picking up his 10th yellow card of the season. His absence is a massive blow. Palina is the heartbeat of their team, leading the league in tackles, and his defensive work will be sorely missed against United's dynamic attack. Marco Silva will likely turn to Harrison Reed or Cesar Lucic to fill that void, but they are huge shoes to fill. Up front, they will rely on the creativity of Andreas Pereira, who will be keen to impress on his return to his former club. And the goal-scoring prowess of Rodrigo Muniz. This is the sustainable model for success.
What
They
the even the
need
gift
to
was there,
fight
air,
it,
with 105
especially with the force changes in the match. Their stats
give
paint a
a lot
picture of
of
a
the
team
environment.
that's solid at home,
No sé,
but
no
overall, they
Pero
conceded
que
far
no que
more
temo
goals
lugar,
away
no que
from
temo.
Craven Cottage. Now, the defensive security of Bolivia shielding them back more. They could be exposed by United's pace and movement. Their attacking threat often comes from wide areas through players like William and Harry Wilson. So, their ability to deliver quality crosses for Muniz will be crucial. If they are to trouble the United defense, this game could very well be decided by which team's weakness is exploited more effectively. From a tactical perspective, Eric Ten Hag is likely to stick with his trusted 4-2-3-1 formation. The key will be how his midfield duo, Lackley Casemiro and the young Cesaro Caballero, can control the center of the park. Manu's composure and technical skill have been a revelation, and his battle in the middle will be vital. United will look to play up the using the blistering pace of Garnacho and Rashford to get in behind the Fulham defense. So, it's time for the prediction, taking everything into account. It's hard to pass a Manchester United victory here. Their current form is simply outstanding, and the confidence at Old Trafford is good. While the defensive injuries are a worry, their attacking firepower should be more than enough to see them through. Rasmus Højlund is playing like a man possessed, and Fulham's defense, especially without the protection of Palhinha, will have a monumental task to keep it quiet. I expect Fulham to put up a brave fight, and they might even nick a goal. But United's momentum is just too strong right now. I'm predicting a 3-2-1 win for Manchester United, with Højlund continuing his incredible scoring. That wraps up our preview. It's set to be a fascinating contest full of tactical battles and individual brilliance. What are your predictions? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Premier League content. We'll see you next time. What a roller coaster of a match we just witnessed at the Manchester United has pulled off a stunning 3-2 victory over league leaders Arsenal in a game that had absolutely everything. For all you Gunners and Red Devils fans, this is one you'll be talking about all week. So let's break it all down. The match kicked off with that classic big game tension, and it was Arsenal who drew first blood. In the 29th minute, a moment of chaos in the United box led to an own goal, sending the Emirates into a frenzy. It looked like the Gunners were going to take control, but hold on, United had other ideas. Just before the halftime whistle, they struck back with a crucial equalizer, silencing the home crowd and leaving everything to play for in the second half. The teams went into the right lock at 1-1. And you could just feel the drama was far from over. Coming into this massive clash, Arsenal was sitting pretty at the top of the Premier League table with a comfortable 50 points. They've been the team to beat this season. Manchester United, on the other hand, were in 5th place with 35 points. Desperately trying to claw their way into those coveted top 4 spots. This result is a huge boost for United's Champions League aspirations, while Arsenal, despite the loss, will remain at the summit for now. Pressure is definitely mounting historically. The rivalry between these two giants is legendary. In all competitions, Manchester United holds the edge with 102 wins compared to Arsenal's 91. However, recent history told a different story. For today, Arsenal had been dominant in their Premier League encounters, winning 5 of the last 6 meetings. This context made United's victory even more significant. They didn't just win a game, they broke a trend and made a massive statement against their rivals on their home turf. Both men Spurs had some selection headaches before the match due to injuries. Arsenal were without the young talent, Max Tillman, who's nursing an ankle injury, and defender Ricardo Calafiori was also unavailable. On the plus side, for them, Piero Hincapié was fit to play. For Manchester United, the list of absentees was also a concern. Key players like Matija Zidane and striker Joshua Zirkzee were ruled out. And there was a question mark over Nusa Mazraoui. Fit, given these challenges, the depth and resilience of both squads were truly put to the test. The second half began. The intensity went up another notch. Manchester United came out looking determined, and they were rewarded for their efforts. They found the back of the net. Not once, but twice more. To take a commanding lead. The highlight of the match, and perhaps a goal of the season contender, came from Patrick Dorn. The young talent unleashed an absolutely sensational strike that left the keeper with no chance. It was a moment of pure individual brilliance that underscored United's attacking threat, while Arsenal fought back and managed to grab a second goal to set up a nail-biting finish. United's defense held firm to secure all 3 points. A massive, massive win on the road for the Red Devils. So, what does this all mean? For Manchester United, it's a huge injection of confidence and 3 vital points in their push for the top 4. For Arsenal, it's a reality check. They're still in a great position. But this loss shows they're not invincible. The title race has got a whole lot more interesting. What did you think of the game? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Who was your man of the match? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Premier League analysis. See you in the next one. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Before we get into today's Premier League update, if you love football and want to see us off all the action, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It really helps us out. Alright, let's dive into the state of play in the 2025-26 Premier League season. After 22 matches, Arsenal are sitting pretty at the top of the table. The Gunners have been in phenomenal form, racking up 50 points from 15 wins, 5 draws, and only 2 losses. They've built a solid 7-point lead, but they can't afford to get complacent, especially with the pack chasing them. Speaking of the chasing pack, we have a tie for second place. Both Manchester City and Aston Villa are locked on 43 points. City with 30 wins, having their usual dominance. But a few more losses than they'd like sees them trailing Arsenal. Aston Villa, under their current management, have been the surprise package of the season. Matching City Aston Tally with 13 victories on their own is a huge statement that has their fans dreaming of European nights. Just outside the top 3, Liverpool holds the 4th spot with 36 points. It's been a mixed bag for them with 10 wins, but they're still firmly in the hunt for a Champions League position. Right on their heels is Manchester United in 5th place with 35 points. They've been a tough team to beat, securing ultra draws, the second most in the top half of the table. Rounding out the top 6 is Chelsea, who are on 34 points. The LB looking to string together a run of wins to climb higher and challenge for those coveted European spots. Their mid-table is incredibly tough this year. Brentford, Newcastle United, and the newly promoted Sunderland are all tied on 33 points, sitting in 7th, 8th, and 9th place respectively. What a fantastic return to the top flight for Everton follows closely behind in 10th with 32 points, and Fulham is just a point back in 11th with 31. This battle for a top half finish is going to be fascinating to watch. In the bottom half, Brighton are 12th with 30 points, followed by Crystal Palace on 28. Then we have Tottenham and Bournemouth both on 27 points. Spurs, in particular, will be disappointed to find themselves in the lower half of the table. They will be desperate to improve. Leeds United is in 16th with 25 points, giving themselves a bit of a cushion from the drop zone. However, things are looking tense at the bottom. Nottingham Forest is just above the relegation zone in 17th with 22 points. The first team in the drop zone is West Ham United, who are struggling in 18th place with just 17 points. Burnley is 19th with 14 points. And at the very bottom, it's been a truly difficult season for Wolverhampton who have managed only one win. Not just 8 points so far. Now, let's look ahead to the exciting fixtures for Matchweek 23. The action kicks off on Saturday, January 24th. West Ham hosts Sunderland. In the early match, later, we have a series of games, including Burnley taking on Tottenham and Fulham facing Brighton. A key match to watch will be Manchester City versus Wolverhampton. City will be expecting a comfortable win at home to keep the pressure on Arsenal, while Wolves will be fighting for their Premier League lives. The late game on Saturday sees Bournemouth play against Liverpool. Then on Sunday, January 25th, Brentford will play Nottingham Forest. Crystal Palace takes on Chelsea. And Newcastle United faces a massive test against high-flying Aston Villa. But the main event, the one everyone will be watching, is the heavyweight clash between Arsenal and Manchester United. This is a huge game for both clubs. A win for Arsenal would solidify their title credentials, while a victory for Manchester United right back into the top four conversation. It's a classic rivalry with so much at stake. That's your complete rundown of the Premier League as we head into Matchweek 23. The title race, the fight for Europe, and the battle for survival are all heating up. Which match are you most excited for? Let me know your predictions and comments. Below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. What a night in Istanbul! Aston Villa have done it again, securing a massive 1-0 victory over Fenerbahce in the UEFA Europa League. This win doesn't just give them bragging rights. It officially punches their ticket to the last 16 of the competition. Let's break down all the action from a truly electric night of football. The atmosphere at the KR Serikoklu Stadium was absolutely incredible. But it was Villa who silenced the home crowd early on. The decisive moment came in the 25th minute. A beautifully whipped in cross found its way into the box. And who was there to meet it? None other than Jadon Sancho, who rose highest and played a powerful header into the back of the net. A classic striker's finish. And just when Villa needed to take control of the game away from home. 1-0 to the visitor. And the Villa faithful went wild. From there, the match was a real battle. It was end-to-end stuff, full of drama and controversy. Both sides actually found the net again, but VAR played a huge role in keeping the scoreline at 1-0. Villa thought they might have doubled their lead at one point, only for the goal to be chalked off after a review. Then, in the second half, Fenerbahce fans erupted, thinking they had finally found their equalizer, but their celebrations were cut short. The referee was called over to the monitor. And after a tense wait, the goal was disallowed, leaving the home side frustrated, Villa breathing a huge sigh of relief. This victory is significant for so many reasons. Not only does it guarantee Villa's progression in Europe, but it also shatters Fenerbahce's impressive unbeaten home record in the competition this season. The Turkish Giants had turned their stadium into a fortress. But Unai Emery's squad arrived with a game plan and executed it to perfection. They were disciplined in defense, clinical when their chance came, and managed the game brilliantly. Under immense pressure, It was a mature, professional European performance that shows just how far this team has come. Looking at the history between these two clubs, it's clear that Aston Villa have had better books number. This result continues a perfect record for Villa in their European encounters against the Turkish side. That's now 3 meetings and 3 wins for Aston Villa. It's a remarkable statistic that highlights their dominance in this particular fixture. For Fenerbahce, it's a tough pill to swallow as they once again fall short against their English rivals. They'll have to regroup and focus on their domestic campaign while Villa marches on in Europe, full of confidence. So, what does this mean for Aston Villa moving forward? Securing the spot in the last 16. This early is a massive boost. It allows them to potentially rotate their squad in the remaining group stage matches and keep key players fresh for the Premier League campaign. Unai Emery, a true master of European competitions, will be absolutely delighted with his team's performance. They faced a hostile environment, a tough opponent, and came away with a clean sheet and all 3 points. Jadon Sancho will rightly grab the headlines for his match-winning goal, but this was a true team effort from the goalkeeper to the forwards. What a result for the Villains. They continue their European adventure, and the dream is well and truly alive. Where do you think Villa can go in this competition? Can they go all the way? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It was an unforgettable night, and the journey is far from over. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more football content. Up big. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Before we dive into today's massive fixture, I've noticed something interesting. A huge number of you who watch these videos are not subscribed yet. If you're enjoying the content and want to stay up to date with all the latest football headlines and analysis, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button right now. It takes just a second and really helps the channel grow. Thanks a bunch. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest rivalries in English football. Arsenal versus Manchester United. The next chapter is set for Sunday, January 25th, 2026 at the Emirates Stadium. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m. East Africa time, which is 4:30 p.m. UTC. This is a match you won't want to miss. The stakes are incredibly high. Arsenal are flying high, sitting pretty at the top of the Premier League table. They're the team to beat right now. Meanwhile, Manchester United are in a respectable 5th position, but they'll be desperate to close the gap and prove they can challenge the league leaders. A trip to the Emirates is a massive test for them. Let's look at how things have played out recently between these two giants. This season, Arsenal has definitely had the upper hand. Back on August 17th, the Gunners traveled to Old Trafford and secured a crucial 1-2-0 away win in the Premier League. That result really set the tone for their campaign. Then, looking back at the previous season, on March 9th, the two sides fought to a 1-1 draw at Old Trafford. It was a tight affair, showing just how evenly matched they can be on their day. Earlier that year, on January 12th, they met in the FA Cup at the Emirates. That match also ended 1-1, but it was Manchester United who progressed after a tense penalty shootout. A heartbreaking moment for the home fans. And before that, on December 4th, Arsenal claimed a comfortable 2-0 home win in the league. So, while Arsenal has dominated the recent Premier League encounters, United has shown they can get a result, especially in cup competitions. What's really telling is Arsenal's current unbeaten streak. against United, which stands at an impressive 7 games across all competitions. That's a huge psychological advantage for the Gunners heading into this match. Now, if we zoom out and look at the all-time head-to-head record, this story is a bit different. This rivalry has a long and storied history. They've met a staggering 245 times. Manchester United hold a slight edge overall with 99 wins, 2 Arsenals, 91, and there have been 55 draws. This just goes to show the historical weight behind this fixture. Every match adds another layer to this epic saga. Let's turn to the team news, because that could be a deciding factor. Manchester United has seen a recent change in the dugout. Michael Carrick has been appointed as interim manager, and he's already made an impact. He kicked off his tenure with a massive and much-needed win against their city rivals, Manchester City. That victory will have injected a huge dose of confidence and belief back into the squad. Carrick will be looking to build on that momentum and make a statement against the league leaders. On the other side, Arsenal's incredible form is being tested by some significant injury concerns. They're currently without several key players. The absence of rising star Max Doman is a blow, and they're also missing defensive stalwarts Spiro Hincapi and Ricardo Calafiori. Managing these injuries and rotating the squad effectively will be a major challenge for the Arsenal manager. It puts a lot of pressure on the rest of the team to step up and maintain their high standards. So, what's the prediction? It's incredibly tough to call. You have Arsenal, the league leaders, playing at home with a fantastic recent record against United, but they're dealing with key injuries. Then you have Manchester United, a team with a point to prove under a new interim manager, buoyed by a huge Derby win. Will Arsenal's quality and home advantage be enough to see them through, or will Carrick's revitalized United pull off an upset on the road? This match has all the ingredients of a classic top-of-the-table clashes. Historical rivalry, new manager bounce, and injury crises. It's what the Premier League is all about. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Let me know your score predictions in the comments below. Who do you think will come out on top and why? Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more exclusive content. We'll see you in the next one. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Get ready, because one of the biggest fixtures in the football calendar is just around the corner. That's right, it's the Manchester Derby. On Saturday, January 17th, Pep Guardiola, Manchester City will make the short trip across town to Old Trafford to face their arch rivals, Manchester United. Kickoff is set for 12:30 UK time, and you can bet the atmosphere is going to be absolutely electric. This derby has a rich history of dramatic moments and intense battles, and the recent history is no exception. Looking back at the last 6 Premier League meetings, it's been a real roller coaster. City have had the upper hand recently. With a convincing 3-0 win at Old Trafford back in October 2023, another Trace -1 victory at the Etihad in March 2024, and a dominant 3-0 home win this season on September 14th. There was also a tense goalless draw at Old Trafford in April of 2025. Seems City have a United S number in the last few encounters. But, and this is a big but, for all you United fans out there, don't forget the moments of magic your team has produced. We've seen Manchester United pull off incredible 2-1 comeback victories against their noisy neighbors twice in recent memory. And these weren't just any wins. They were packed with late-game drama that left fans breathless. Let's rewind to January 14th, 2023, at a roaring Old Trafford. City looked to be in control when Jack Grealish put them ahead. But
Ke na
United,
tete bia.
fueled by the home crowd, staged a stunning turnaround. First, Bruno Fernandes scored a highly debated, controversial equalizer that got everyone talking. Then, just 4 minutes later, Marcus Rashford, the hometown hero, down the back of the net to seal a famous 2-2-1 victory. The scenes in the stadium were unforgettable. A classic derby comeback. Fast forward to December 5th, 2024. This time at the Etihad Stadium. It looked like City's game. Josko Gvardiol had given them the lead, and as the clock ticked down, it seemed like another routine home win. But United refused to give up. In the 88th minute, they were awarded a penalty. And who else but Bruno Fernandes stepped up to calmly slot it home, making it 1-1. The away end went wild, but the drama wasn't over. In the 90th minute, in a moment of pure inspiration, Amad Diallo scored a sensational winner, snatching all 3 points of the death and silencing the end. It was another incredible 2-1 comeback, proving that in this fixture, anything can happen. These two victories show that even when City seemed to be the dominant force, Manchester United have the spirit and the quality to produce shock results. They've proven they can go toe-to-toe with City and come out on top, especially with those dramatic late winners. They know how to hurt their rivals and thrive on that underdog status. So, what does this all mean for the upcoming clash on January 2nd? Will City's recent dominance continue? And will they assert their authority once again at Old Trafford? Or will Manchester United channel the spirit of those famous comeback wins? Will we see another moment of individual brilliance, a tactical masterclass, or a controversial decision that swings the game? That's the beauty of the Manchester Derby. It's completely unpredictable. Will the Theatre of Dreams become a fortress for United? Or will City paint the town blue once more? It's a classic battle of tactics, passion, and city pride. One thing is for sure. It's a match you won't want to miss. Drop your predictions in the comments below. Who do you think will come out on top? And what will the score be? I can't wait to read what you guys think. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this preview, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more football content. See you in the next one.
Get ready for a massive London derby as Chelsea and Arsenal are set to clash in the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final. It's all happening today, Wednesday, January 14th, 2026, with kickoff at 8 p.m. UK time at Stamford Bridge. This is one of those fixtures that always delivers drama. And with a place in a cup final on the line, the stakes couldn't be higher. Let's dive straight into the recent form because it tells a fascinating story. Arsenal fans, you'll love this. Your team is currently on a 9-game unbeaten streak against Chelsea across all competitions. That's right, 9 games without a loss, featuring 5 wins and 4 draws. It's been a period of dominance for the Gunners in this fixture. In fact, you have to go all the way back to August 2018 for Chelsea's last home win against Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. That's a long, long time in football. Looking at the last few head-to-heads, the trend continues. In their last 5 meetings, Arsenal have secured 2 wins and 3 draws. Remember that incredible 5-0 thrashing back in April 2024? Or the 3-1 win in May 2023? Even the draws like the 2-2 thriller in October 2023 have been packed with action. The most recent result was a tight 1-1 draw at Stamford Bridge just a couple of months ago. In November 2025, it seems Mikel Arteta really has Mauricio Pochettino's number in these recent encounters. If we zoom out and look at the all-time record, it's Arsenal who hold the historical bragging rights. Across 212 total meetings, Arsenal had 84 wins to Chelsea's 66, with 62 matches ending in a draw. It's a rivalry with a deep and rich history, and the Gunners have the edge. However, Chelsea fans don't lose hope just yet. There's a very interesting twist when we look specifically at the Carabao Cup. In this competition, the tables are turned. Chelsea have a much better record against Arsenal, winning 4 of their 6 previous League Cup encounters. It seems the Blues know how to get the job done when it comes to this particular trophy. This semi-final is the perfect stage for them to prove that this competition is their territory and to finally break that 9-game winless streak against their London rivals. Now, let's talk teammates, which could play a huge role in the outcome. Chelsea have some significant worries. They will be without the influential midfielder Moises Caicedo, who is serving a suspension.
No creo que ni kao ngi vita.
On top of that, there are major doubts
Fin
over
di mag
the
ta ko de
fitness
ko
of
ta.
Reece James and the creative force of Paul Pogba. If both of them are out, it will seriously hamper Chelsea's ability to create chances and defend their right flank. Pochettino will have some big decisions to make. Over at Arsenal, things aren't perfect either.
Dingi kan
There
kan.
are fitness concerns for two key players, William Saliba and Leandro Trossard. Both of them missed the FA Cup match.
Kini kun mala tiwa wa
Their
yi mo
availability
mala.
for this crucial semi-final
Mga to
is
na
uncertain.
lutigo.
Saliba is the rock at the heart of their defense,
Manen
and
West.
Trossard provides that
Lucky Charmy.
unpredictability in attack. Their absence would be a big miss for Arteta's side. On a
Manen
positive note, Kai Havertz is available after his own recent concerns, but it's likely his minutes will be carefully managed as he returns to full fitness. So what can we expect? It's a classic clash of narratives. You
West
have
mo.
Arsenal, the team in dominant form in this fixture, looking to extend their unbeaten run and take a firm grip on the tie. They'll be confident, organized, and eager to press their advantage. Then you have Chelsea playing at home, wounded by recent results against their rivals, but with a strong history in this specific competition. They'll be desperate to land a blow, to prove a point, and to give their fans something to cheer about at Stamford Bridge. This first leg is all about setting the tone. Will Arsenal's recent dominance continue, or will Chelsea's Carabao Cup match finally break through? It's a tactical battle between Arteta and Pochettino, a test of squad depth with key players missing, and a fiery London derby with a final at Wembley on the line. I cannot wait for this one. Who do you think will win? Will Chelsea finally get a victory over Arsenal, or will the Gunners march on? Let me know your score predictions in the comments below.
I
It's
have a
going to be
YouTube
an
channel.
absolutely epic night of football. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this
Do you
video,
land
don't
on you get
forget
to
to like the
subscribe
video
and like
subscribe for more football content.
and keep watching.
See you next time.
Welcome back, football fans, to another thrilling week of Premier League action. We've officially crossed the halfway point of the season, and match day 20 is set to deliver some absolute blockbusters. The title race, the European spots, and the relegation battle are all heating up, and every single point is crucial from here on out. So, let's dive right into the fixtures and see what drama awaits us. Kicking things off, we have a fascinating clash as Chelsea host Fulham at Stamford Bridge. This West London derby is always feisty. Chelsea are desperate to find some consistency and climb the table.
Sani channel ndo so chop 11 million subscribers. Tunge ngamuli waki. Ogo muna teach malaya. Willy Paul nego teach kakana ogoyo. Wino kiwa kinjini muni
It's a
support.
classic derby with everything to play for. Next up, a crucial game at the bottom of the table as Burnley welcome Luton Town to Turf Moor. This is the definition of a relegation six. Both teams know that a victory here could be a massive step towards survival. Vincent Kompany's Burnley need to start turning their possession-based style into results, while Rob Edwards' Luton have shown incredible fight and spirit. Expect a tense, hard-fought battle where every tackle and every chance will matter immensely. This is pure Premier League drama. Saturday evening gives us a heavyweight contest at St. James Park as Newcastle United face the reigning champions, Manchester City. Newcastle have had a tough run with injuries, but their home form is still formidable with that incredible atmosphere. City, on the other hand, are hitting their stride with key players returning. Can Eddie Howe's Magpies derail the team, or will Pep Guardiola's side continue their relentless march? This one has goals written all over it. Moving on to Sunday, Everton take on Aston Villa at Goodison Park. Sean Dyche has transformed Everton into a resilient, hard-to-beat unit, and they'll be fired up in front of the home crowd. But they're up against Unai Emery's Aston Villa, who have been one of the standout teams of the season, Villa's high line and blistering counterattacks are a threat to any team. This promises to be a tactical battle between two very smart managers. And finally, the standout fixture of the weekend. A massive clash at Old Trafford as Manchester United go head-to-head with Tottenham Hotspur. Both clubs are in a transitional phase, but with huge ambitions. Everton Heads United are looking for a spark to ignite their season, while Ange Postecoglou's Spurs have captivated everyone with their attacking front foot football, with two managers committed to their philosophies. This would be an end-to-end thrill. It's a game that could have huge implications for the top four race. A weekend of football we have in store. Every match has a story. Every point is vital. From title contenders to relegation battlers, the pressure is on. I want to know your predictions. Who do you think will come out on top in these massive games? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'll now be back to review all the action and see who the big winners and losers were. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. If you enjoyed this preview, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Enjoy the matches, and I'll see you on the other side. What a whirlwind match day 19 was in La Liga. Let's kick things off with a quick recap before diving into what's next. The action started with Rayo Vallecano and Getafe battling to a 1-1. Then Celta Vigo put on a show, thrashing Valencia 4-1. Osasuna and Athletic Club couldn't be separated, finishing 1. Villarreal took care of business with a 3-1 win over Elche. And in the Catalan derby, Barcelona secured a solid 2-0 victory against Espanyol. Sunday brought even more drama. Levante surprised everyone with a stunning 3-0 win away. And Real Madrid were absolutely dominant, cruising to a 5-1 victory over Real Betis Alaves. And Real Oviedo shared the points. 1 draw. Girona grabbed a crucial away win, beating Real Mallorca 2-1. And the day wrapped up with a tense 1-1 draw between Real Sociedad and Atletico Madrid. What a round of football. Now, let's look ahead because the excitement doesn't stop. Match day 20 is right around the corner. On Friday, January 9th, Getafe hosts. Saturday the 10th is packed with action. Real Oviedo versus Real Betis. Villarreal versus Alaves. Girona versus Osasuna. And Valencia looking to bounce back against Elche. Sunday, January 11th, sees Rayo Vallecano take on Real Madrid, followed by Levante versus Espanyol. The match day concludes on Monday the 12th with a fascinating clash between Sevilla and Celta Vigo. But wait, there's more. Let's fast forward to match day 21. Friday, January 16th, kicks off with Espanyol against Saturday the 17th is a big one. Real Madrid faces Levante. Real Mallorca plays Athletic Club. Osasuna takes on Real and Real Betis clashes. The action continues on Sunday the 18th with 4 more games. Getafe versus Valencia. A huge match between Atletico Madrid and Celta Vigo against Rayo Vallecano. And the match of the weekend, Real Sociedad hosting Barcelona. That's a potential title decider right there. The round finishes on Monday, January 19th, as Elche plays Seville. And just to get you even more hype, let's peek at match day 22. It starts on Friday, January 23rd, with Levante versus Saturday the 24th, Bilbao versus Osasuna. Valencia
video bwana
versus
naona
Sevilla versus Athletic Club.
description.
And a massive showdown
Ukipotiwa
between
vile
Villarreal and Real Madrid. Then, on Sunday, the 25th, Atletico Madrid faces Real Mallorca. Barcelona takes on Real Oviedo. Real Sociedad plays El Domingo. And Alaves goes up against Real Betis. Finally, the matchweek concludes on Monday the 26th with Girona versus who? So many incredible matches to look forward to in La Liga this January. The title race, the fight for European spots, and the battle to avoid relegation are all heating up. Which games are you most excited for? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. What a match we have on our hands. Folks, Liverpool versus Arsenal. A clash of titans that almost always guarantees fireworks. And this time was no exception. It's one of those fixtures you circle on your calendar the moment the schedule comes out. And boy, did it deliver. The atmosphere at Anfield was absolutely electric. You could feel the tension and the excitement buzzing right through the screen. From the very first whistle, both teams came out swinging, looking to assert their dominance. Arsenal, with their slick, possession-based football, tried to control the tempo early on. You could see Arteta's philosophy in every pass, building from the back, looking for those clever pockets of space. They were patient, probing, and trying to unlock that famously resilient Liverpool defense. On the other hand, you have Liverpool club's heavy metal football in full effect. The moment they won the ball back, it was instant pressure. A blur of red shirts flying forward, putting the Arsenal backline under immense stress. The key battles were all over the pitch. In midfield, it was a tactical chess match. Who would win the second balls? Who could break the lines with a decisive pass? And up front, the strikers from both sides were a constant threat. Their movement sharp and their instincts on high alert. There were some heart-and-mouth moments for both sets of fans, with chances being created at either end. A shot whistles just past the post here. A world-class save there. It was end-to-end action. One of the standout moments has to be the opening goal. The build-up play was just exquisite. A perfect example of what makes this sport the beautiful game. The finish was clinical, leaving the keeper with absolutely no chance. But, as we all know, a goal can completely change the dynamic of a match. The response from the other team was immediate and fierce. They didn't let their heads drop. They dug deep. And you could see the determination to get back into the game. Ultimately, it was a contest decided by fine margins, a moment of individual brilliance or a slight lapse in concentration. Both managers will have plenty to analyze, positives to take, and areas to improve upon. For UASA's fans, it was an absolute treat, a showcase of Premier League football at its very best. These are the games we live for. What did you think of the match? Let me know your key takeaways in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more football analysis. Thanks for watching. Hello football fans, and welcome back to the channel. It's great to have you here for another exciting preview. I've noticed a lot of you enjoy the content, but forget to subscribe. If you could just take 1 second to hit that like button and subscribe, it would mean the world to me and help the channel grow with more football news just like this. Thank you so much for that. Now, let's dive into the main event. The highly anticipated London derby between Fulham and Chelsea. The match is set to kick off today, January 7th, 2026 at 19:30. GMT, this is always a a fiery encounter. And recent history suggests we could be in for another. Looking back at the recent head-to-head clashes, there's a fascinating pattern. The 2-1 scoreline has popped up quite a few times, adding an extra layer of intrigue to tonight's game. For instance, just last season, in April 2025, Chelsea managed to secure a crucial 2-1 victory away at Craven Cottage. That was a tense match, with Chelsea just edging it. But don't think it's been all one-way traffic. In a surprising turn of events, on Boxing Day 2024, it was Fulham who triumphed at Stamford Bridge with that very same 2-1 scoreline. What a result that was. It really shows that in this derby, anything can happen. And home advantage doesn't always guarantee a win. It proves Fulham knows how to get the result against their big-name rivals, even on their own turf. Going back a bit further, in 25, at the start of this season, Chelsea got the better of Fulham at home, winning those -0. And if you look at the fixture from October 2023, Chelsea also won 2-0 at Craven Cottage. So while Chelsea has had the upper hand in a couple of recent games, Fulham's victory at the Bridge shows they are more than capable of causing an upset. So, what does all this tell us about tonight's match? Well, it tells us to expect goals and high drama. Chelsea will be looking to assert their dominance, but playing in front of their passionate home crowd at Craven Cottage will be desperate to repeat their previous heroics. Both teams have shown they can score against each other, and both have shown they can win. The 2-1 scoreline seems to be a recurring theme, and I wouldn't be surprised to see another close game decided by a single goal. What are your predictions for the match? Are we going to see another 2-1 thriller? And if so, who do you think will come out on top this time? Will it be Fulham pulling off another memorable win at home, or will Chelsea's quality shine through? Drop your score predictions in the comments below. I'm really curious to see what y'all think. That's all for this preview. Thanks again for watching and for your amazing support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our post-match analysis. Enjoy the game, and I'll catch you in the next one.
What a day. What a game. Ten Hag's era at Manchester United kicks off with a bang. A massive 4-2-0 win against Liverpool in this pre-season friendly in Bangkok. I mean, who saw that coming? It's only pre-season, I know, but a win is a win, and a win like this against our biggest rivals, you just have to love it. Let's break it down. United looked sharp, energetic, and surprisingly organised right from the start. Jadon Sancho opened the scoring, pouncing on a mistake in the Liverpool defence. He looked confident, taking his chance really well. It's exactly the kind of start we wanted to see from him this season. Then, thank my word, that chip, a beautiful, audacious chip over Alisson from the edge of the box. It was pure class. We've seen flashes of this from Fred before, but to pull it off so calmly was just brilliant. It really got the crowd going, and you could see confidence flowing through the team. Just a few minutes later, Anthony Martial made it 3. He capitalised on another defensive error, raced through on goal, and dinked it over the keeper. It's a massive goal for him. A lot of us thought his time at United might be over, but he's come back looking hungry and sharp. If Ten Hag can get Martial back to his best, that's like a new signing for us.
He looked really motivated out there. The second half saw a lot of changes from both sides, as you'd expect in pre-season. Liverpool brought on their big guns, Salah, Van Dijk, Nunes, and they definitely put us under more pressure. But our defence, even with the youngsters, held firm. Tom Heaton made a couple of great saves, and it was great to see some of the academy lads getting a run out. And then, to cap it all off, Facundo Pellistri gets on the score sheet. A brilliant counter-attack, slick passing between Ahmed and Eric Bailey of all people, who went on a marauding run forward. Bailey squares it to Pellistri, who coolly slots it home for nil. Unbelievable. It was a fantastic team goal and a great moment for the young Uruguayan. So, what can we take from this? Well, it's early days. It's pre-season. We shouldn't get too carried away. Liverpool fielded a much weaker side in the first half, and the result doesn't count for any points. But you can't deny the positives. The pressing looked more coordinated, the players looked fitter, and there was a real attacking intent. Ten Hag's philosophy seems to be rubbing off on them already. It's about building confidence and momentum, and this result does exactly that. For the first time in a long time, there's a real sense of optimism around the club. It's just one game, but it's a massive step in the right direction. It's exciting to think about what this team could do under the new manager. What did you guys think of the game? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Who was your man of the match? For me, it's a tough one, but I think Marshall just edges it. Great to see him back with a goal and a smile. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more United content. Catch you in the next one.
Breaking news from Old Trafford. Manchester United have sacked Ruben Amorim after just 14 months in charge. The final straw was Sunday's 1-1 draw against Leeds United, which leaves the club sitting 6th in the Premier League. Former midfielder and current under-18s coach Darren Fletcher will step in as interim manager, starting with the trip to Burnley this Wednesday. A permanent replacement isn't expected until the summer. So what went wrong? It seems a complete breakdown in relationships behind the scenes was the key factor. The club officially stated the decision was made reluctantly because it's the right time to make a change to salvage the season. But the writing was on the wall. After the Leeds game, Amorim himself hinted at the tension. He made a point of calling himself the manager, not the coach, a clear jab at the new structure brought in by Sir Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS. He even said, "It's going to be like this for 18 months or when the board decide to change. I'm not going to quit." Well, the board decided. Amorim's exit will be a costly one for United. He signed a contract until 2027 with no discounted exit clause, meaning the club will have to pay him out in full. This adds to the more than £50 million United have spent just on firing managers since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. A big point of contention was Amorim's rigid preference for a 3-4-3 formation. Despite spending over £200 million on new signings like Benjamin Sesko, Brian Mumo, and Matheus Cunha, there was frustration that he couldn't get the players he needed for his system. Reports suggest that Director of Football Jason Wilcox had discussions with Amorim about his tactical choices. What was once a strong relationship clearly soured. Amorim felt his authority was being undermined, while the hierarchy, including Ratcliffe, saw it as necessary dialogue. This drama didn't just appear overnight. This whole situation raises serious questions about the INEOS project at Manchester United. Ratcliffe had previously said Amorim would get 3 years to prove himself. That was less than 3 months ago. They knew about his tactical philosophy when they hired him. In fact, Concerns about his 3-4-3 system were raised before he was even appointed, with then sporting director Dan Ashworth suggesting other candidates. But they went with Amorim, and now just 14 months and £250 million in transfers later, they've pulled the plug. Ratcliffe had insisted that INEOS would decide the style of play, and the coach would have to adapt. They hired a coach with a very specific fixed system, backed him, and now have been forced to admit it was a mistake. Amorim stuck to his path, and it cost him his job. Now, almost 2 years into the INEOS era, the big question is, what path will Manchester United take next? It's another turbulent chapter for a club still searching for stability. What are your thoughts on this? Was sacking Amorim the right call? Who should be the next permanent manager at Old Trafford? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. And if you want to stay updated on all things football, make sure to subscribe.
What a game! What a result! Manchester City pulling off a massive 3-1 victory against Chelsea. An absolutely dominant performance that has everyone done. We're going to break it all down. From the key moments and tactical masterstrokes to the standout players who really shone today. But before we dive in, I've noticed a lot of you enjoy these breakdowns, but forget to hit that subscribe button. It only takes a second, and it makes a huge difference for the channel. So go on, give it a click, and let's get into the action. The first half kicked off with an incredible intensity. City immediately set the tempo, pressing high and not giving Chelsea a moment's rest. On the ball, you could see the game plan from the get-go. Control the midfield, stretch the defense, and exploit their spaces. And it didn't take long for that pressure to pay off. That opening goal was a thing of beauty. The build-up play was just exquisite. A series of quick, incisive passes that completely sliced through the Chelsea back. It was a classic City goal. A testament to their chemistry and understanding on the pitch. Chelsea looked a bit shell-shocked, struggling to find their rhythm and get their key playmakers involved. As the half wore on, City just grew stronger. The second goal was a result of pure persistence, winning the ball back in a dangerous area. And then the clinical finish. It just showed their hunger. Chelsea had a few moments, a couple of but City's defense was rock solid, closing down threats before they could even develop. Going into halftime 2-0 up, City were in complete control, and you had to wonder what Chelsea could possibly do to turn this around. The tactical battle was fascinating, with City's manager clearly gains his instructions spot on, neutralizing Chelsea's strengths while amplifying his own teams, coming out for the second half. You expected a big reaction from Chelsea, and to their credit, they tried to force the issue. They made a few adjustments, trying to get more bodies forward and put City under pressure. For a while, it seemed like they might get back into it. They were holding more possession and creating a bit more in the final third. But City's resilience is something else. They absorbed the pressure, stayed organized, and always looked dangerous on the cut. That is the mark of a champion side. Ability to manage the game even when you're not dominated the ball. Then came the killer blow. The third goal for City really sealed the deal. It was a rapid counterattack that caught Chelsea completely off guard. The speed, movement, the unselfish pass, and the calm finish it was just devastating. At 3-2-0, the game was effectively over. Chelsea did manage to pull one back late on, a well-to-con consolation goal. They gave their traveling fans something to cheer about. But it was too little, too late. The damage was already done. City saw the final minutes with professional ease, passing the ball around and running down the clock. So, a 3-1 win for Manchester City, and a deserved one at that. They were superior in every department. Tactically, technically, and in terms of sheer desire. For Chelsea, it is a tough result to take, and a trip back to the drawing board to figure out what went wrong. What did you all think of the game? Who was your man of the match? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. I read every single one. Thanks so much for watching. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for more match analysis like this. See you in the next one. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. You know, it's a little sad to see so many of you watch the videos but forget to subscribe. Come on. Take a second and hit that subscription button right now. It really helps the channel grow. And I appreciate every single one of you. All right, let's get into today's big game. We've got a classic Premier League clash coming up. Newcastle United versus Crystal Palace. The match is set for today, January 4th, kicking off at 6 p.m. East Africa time, which is 3 p.m. UTC. So, set your reminders and get ready for some serious action. Now, looking at the recent history between these two clubs, it's been a bit of a roller coaster, especially for Palace fans. The last time these teams met at St. James Park was back on April 16th, and it was a day to forget for the Eagles. Newcastle absolutely demolished them with a stunning 5-0 victory. That was a statement win for the Magpies at a real low point for Palace. Before that, back in November 2024, the match at Selhurst Park was a much tighter affair, ending in a 1-1 draw. Both teams had to settle for a point, showing that on their day, they can be very evenly matched. But if we rewind a bit further to April 2024, it was Crystal Palace who came out on top at home with a solid 2-0 win. This just goes to show how unpredictable these fixtures can be. And let's not forget the match in October 2023, where Newcastle again dominated at home with a 4-0 thrashing. It seems like St. James Park is a real fortress for Newcastle when Palace comes to visit. The home advantage is clearly a huge factor in this fixture. So, where do these two teams stand right now in the Premier League table? As of today, January 4th, 2026, Crystal Palace is sitting in 11th place. They've played 19 games and have gathered 27 points. They're having a decent season, hovering around mid-table, and they'll be looking to push further up into the top half. On the other hand, Newcastle United is currently in 14th position. They've also played 19 games, but are just 1 point behind Palace with 26 points. For a club with their ambitions, being in the lower half of the table is not where they want to be. They'll be desperate for a win today to climb up their rankings and get their season back on track. This sets up a fascinating encounter. Crystal Palace will be out for revenge after that 5-0 humiliation last year. They'll want to prove they can compete, especially away from home. For Newcastle, this is a must-win game. They need to leverage that home crowd, repeat their past successes against Palace at St. James Park, and start building some momentum. With just 1 point separating them in the table, the stakes are incredibly high. A win for Palace could see them solidify their mid-table position, while a win for Newcastle could see them leapfrog Palace and several other teams. It's not just about the 3 points. It's about bragging rights, confidence, and league position. So, what are your predictions for the match? Will Newcastle's home advantage prove decisive once again? Or will Crystal Palace finally break the curse at St. James Park and get their revenge? Let me know your thoughts and score predictions in the comments below. I'll be reading through them all. Thanks so much for watching. And remember, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future content. Enjoy the game, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's sad to see that a huge number of you who watch these videos aren't subscribed. If you enjoy the content, Please take a second to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. It really helps the channel grow and ensures you never miss out on the latest football news and match analyses. Thanks a bunch. Now, let us dive into one of the most chaotic and thrilling matches of recent memory. Manchester United's incredible 6-2 thrashing of Leeds. United at Old Trafford, back on December 20th, 2020. This wasn't just a game, it was a statement and a piece of Premier League history. The match exploded into life from the very first whistle. Scott McTominay, of all people, became the hero of the hour. In an unbelievable start, he scored not one, but 2 goals within the first 3 minutes. His first was a powerful low drive from outside the box, and the second was a clever run and finish. This made him the first player in Premier League history to score a brace that early in a match. Old Trafford was absolutely rocking, and Leeds just didn't know what hit them. But the onslaught didn't stop there. Manchester United were relentless. At the 20-minute mark, Bruno Fernandes got in on the act, firing home to make it 3-0. It was a classic. Fast-paced counter-attack that completely ripped through the Leeds defense. Just before halftime, defender Victor Lindelöf added a fourth, tapping in from a corner. It was pure dominance. To their credit, Leeds never gave up their attacking philosophy. Liam Coper managed to pull one back with a header from a corner just before the break, giving them a glimmer of hope. But the second half saw more of the same from United. Daniel James, using his blistering pace, scored in the 66th minute to make it 5-1. Then, Bruno Fernandes converted a penalty at 70 minutes, grabbing his second of the game and United's 6th. Stuart Dallas scored a beautiful consolation goal for Leeds with a stunning long-range curler. But it was far too little, far too late. The final score, a staggering 6-2. Let's look at the stats, because they tell a fascinating story. Despite Leeds having 59% possession and completing more it was Manchester United's clinical finishing that made all the difference. United had a massive 26 shots in total, with 14 of them on target. Leeds had 17 shots, but only for trouble the keeper. This shows how effective United were on the counter. They created 6 big chances and were just ruthless in front of goal. The expected goals, or XG, was 2.5 for United and 1.8 for Leeds, which highlights just how much United overperformed their chances. A true sign of elite finishing on the day. This game was an instant classic, a wild end-to-end spectacle with a combined 43 shots. It was a throwback to the historic rivalry between the two clubs and was rightly hailed as one of the games of the season for Manchester United fans. It was a day of pure joy and a showcase of what the team was capable of under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. For Leeds, it was a harsh lesson in the realities of the Premier League, but their commitment to attacking football, even when they were being hammered, earned them a lot of respect. What are your memories of this crazy game? Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, and please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into football's greatest moments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. What a game. What a comeback. What a moment for Arsenal. You are not going to want to miss a single second of this one. Before we dive into the madness, I see you there, watching and just about to click away. Come on, don't leave me hanging. It only takes a second to hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon. It means the world to the channel and ensures you'll never miss out on incredible football moments like this one. So go on, do it now. I'll wait. All right. Thank you so much. Let's get into the action. The Emirates was absolutely rocking, but just seconds into the game, silence. Bournemouth right from the kickoff. Surges forward, a long ball, a bit of chaos, and Philip Billing is there to slot it home. 9 seconds on the clock. It was the second fastest goal in Premier League history, and a complete shock to the system for the Gunners. You could feel the tension in the stadium. Arsenal tried to respond, pushing forward, creating chances, with Odegaard pulling the strings. But Endo in the Bournemouth goal was having one of those days, making save after save. The first half was all about frustration for the home side as they went into the break. The goal down, with a mountain to climb. The second half starts, and Arsenal are desperate for an equalizer. They're throwing everything at the Bournemouth defense. But then, disaster strikes. Again, a corner for Bournemouth in the 57th minute. And Marco Sinisi reaches highest, completely unmarked. Two-headed in. 2-0 to the visitors. The Emirates is stunned. You could hear a pin drop. It felt like the title charge was starting to crumble right there. Is this it? Is the pressure finally getting to them? Arteta looks up, trying to rally his troops, making substitutions, looking for a spark from anywhere. And the spark is exactly what he got. Just 5 minutes later, in the 62nd minute, Emile Smith-Rowe, fresh on the pitch, nods a header back across goal. And who's there to meet it? Thomas Partey. He bundled it in from close range. 2-1. Suddenly, there's a flicker of hope. The crowd roars back to life. The belief is back. Now, it's all Arsenal. Wave after wave of attack. The pressure is relentless. Then, another substitute makes a huge impact. Ben White, of all people, finds himself on the end of a cross from Rice. Nelson and volleys it home. It's his first ever goal for Arsenal. And what a time to get it. The keeper balls it out. But goal line technology confirms it crossed the line. It's 2-2. In the 70th minute, the Emirates is absolutely electric. From here on out, it's a siege. Arsenal are camped in Bournemouth's half. Chance after chance goes begging. The clock is ticking down. We head into stoppage time. 6 minutes are added on. Is there enough time for a winner? It feels like it's slipping away. The final seconds are ticking down. We are in the 97th minute. The final kick of the game. A corner is cleared, but only as far as Rice Nelson on the edge of the box. He takes a touch, sets himself, and unleashes an absolute rocket with his weaker left foot. The ball flies through a sea of players and smashes into the back of the net. Pandemonium! The stadium erupts. Players, staff, fans, everyone goes absolutely wild. Rice Nelson, the hero, with a goal that'll be talked about for years. An unbelievable, unforgettable comeback. From 2-0 down to win 3-2 at the death. That is the stuff of champions. What a match. Moments like these are why we love this game. If you enjoyed that roller coaster of emotions as much as I did, please smash that like button and drop a comment below with your reaction to that insane Nelson winner. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you're always here for the next big moment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're throwing it back to a truly classic Premier League encounter. The date is February 4th, 2007. The place is White Hart Lane, Tottenham Hotspur, managed by Martin Jol, our